Captain America, the First Avenger is a film set during World War II. The movie follows the story of Steve Rogers, a scrawny and frail young man who desperately wants to join the army and fight for his country. However, due to his physical limitations, he is repeatedly rejected. One day, Steve meets Dr. Abraham Erskine, a scientist working on a top-secret project for the U.S. military. Erskine sees something special in Steve and recruits him for his experiment. Steve undergoes a revolutionary procedure that enhances his strength and agility, transforming him into the super soldier, Captain America. With his new abilities, Captain America joins forces with Peggy Carter and Howard Stark to take down the evil organization Hydra, led by the ruthless Red Skull. The Red Skull plans to use a powerful artifact called the Tesseract to conquer the world, and it's up to Captain America and his team to stop him. Through epic battles and daring missions, Captain America proves his worth as a hero and leader. However, his greatest challenge comes when he must sacrifice himself to save the world from Hydra's ultimate weapon. Captain Marvel is a superhero film set in the 1990s about Carol Danvers, a former U.S. Air Force fighter pilot who becomes a member of an elite alien military unit called Starforce. During a mission to rescue an undercover operative from the Skrulls, a shape-shifting alien race, Carol is captured and subjected to a memory probe. With the help of a renegade Skrull named Talos, Carol escapes and crash lands on Earth. There, she teams up with a young Nick Fury, the future director of S.H.I.E.L.D., to uncover the truth about her past and stop a Skrull invasion. Along the way, Carol discovers that she is not just an ordinary human, but a powerful warrior known as Captain Marvel, with the ability to fly and shoot energy blasts from her hands. She must learn to control her powers and face her past to become the hero she was always meant to be. The film explores themes of identity, empowerment, and the importance of trust and friendship in times of war. With its 90s nostalgia and a memorable soundtrack, Captain Marvel is a unique addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe that leaves audiences excited for what's to come. Iron Man is a thrilling superhero film that tells the story of Tony Stark, a billionaire industrialist and genius inventor who is kidnapped by terrorists while on a business trip to Afghanistan. Forced to build a weapon for his captors, Stark instead creates a high-tech suit of armor that allows him to escape. Returning to the United States, Stark refines his suit and becomes the superhero Iron Man, using his new abilities to fight crime and protect the world from evil. However, his arch-nemesis, Obadiah Stane, seeks to take control of Stark's company and destroy Iron Man. As Stark battles Stane, he must also confront his own flaws and past mistakes, including the realization that his weapons manufacturing business has been fueling conflict and destruction around the world. With the help of his assistant Pepper Potts and his friend Rhodey, Stark must find a way to stop Stane and use his wealth and technology for good. With explosive action, breathtaking special effects, Iron Man is a thrilling and inspiring tale of heroism, redemption, and the power of innovation. Iron Man 2 picks up where the first movie left off, with Tony Stark revealing his true identity as the armored superhero Iron Man. As the world reacts to his revelation, Stark finds himself under pressure to share his technology with the U.S. government. Meanwhile, a rival weapons manufacturer, Justin Hammer, is trying to replicate Stark's technology and create his own Iron Man suits. Stark is also dealing with a deadly illness caused by the palladium core in his chest that powers his Iron Man suit. With time running out, Stark sets out to find a cure while also battling a new enemy, Ivan Vanko, who has his own plans for revenge against Stark. Vanko builds his own suit, with electric whips as weapons. Stark must team up with his friend and military liaison, Rhodes, who takes on his own suit of armor and becomes War Machine. Together, they fight to stop Vanko and Hammer while also navigating personal and professional challenges. Ultimately, Stark learns the importance of teamwork and relying on others, as he faces his greatest challenge yet in a thrilling showdown against Vanko and his army of drones. Thor is a superhero film about the god of thunder, Thor, who is banished from his home world Asgard to Earth by his father Odin as punishment for his arrogance. On Earth, Thor meets astrophysicist Jane Foster and her team, who are studying a strange atmospheric phenomenon. As Thor adjusts to life on Earth, he learns humility and begins to understand the value of sacrifice and heroism. Meanwhile, back on Asgard, Thor's brother Loki has seized the throne and plans to destroy their home world with the help of the powerful frost giants. Thor realizes he must return to Asgard to stop Loki and save his people, but first he must regain his lost powers and the trust of his friends. With the help of Jane and her team, Thor discovers the source of the strange phenomenon they were studying, which turns out to be the powerful artifact known as the Tesseract. Thor retrieves the Tesseract and returns to Asgard, where he confronts Loki in an epic battle. In the end, Thor emerges victorious and restores peace to Asgard. He also learns that sacrifice and selflessness are the true hallmarks of heroism, and earns his place as a worthy successor to Odin. The Incredible Hulk tells the story of Dr. Bruce Banner, a scientist who, after a lab accident involving gamma radiation, transforms into a green, hulking monster whenever he gets angry or stressed. Hunted by the military led by General Thunderbolt Ross, Banner goes on the run, searching for a cure while trying to control his alter ego. In his travels, Banner reunites with his ex-girlfriend, Betty Ross. Meanwhile, Ross enlists the help of Emil Blonsky, a Russian-born soldier who becomes obsessed with capturing the Hulk and undergoes an experimental procedure that enhances his strength and speed. As the Hulk continues to wreak havoc, Banner and Betty discover a possible cure that involves extracting the gamma radiation from his blood. However, their efforts are complicated by Blonsky's increasing power and the military's determination to capture the Hulk, leading to an explosive showdown in the streets of New York City. Banner realizes that he must continue to search for a permanent cure to truly be free. The film ends with Banner on the run once again, with Betty promising to help him. In the first Avengers film, Loki, Thor's brother and a powerful villain, comes to Earth with an army of aliens to take over the planet. The Avengers are a group of superheroes who join forces to fight against evil threats to the world. The team includes Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. The Avengers must work together to stop him, but they face internal conflicts and struggle to put aside their differences and work as a team. The action scenes are intense, with each hero using their unique abilities to battle the aliens and save the world. The film also delves into the personal lives of the characters, including their backstories and relationships. In the end, the Avengers succeed in defeating Loki and saving the world. The film sets the stage for future Marvel movies and establishes the team as a force to be reckoned with in the superhero world. Overall, The Avengers is a thrilling and entertaining film that combines action, humor, and character development to create a truly epic story. In Iron Man 3, Tony Stark faces a new threat to his life and those he cares about. After a powerful terrorist named the Mandarin begins wreaking havoc across the United States, Tony finds himself targeted by the villain and forced to go into hiding. He teams up with a young boy named Harley to investigate a series of bombings linked to the Mandarin. With the help of his loyal friend James Rhodes, also known as War Machine, and his AI assistant Jarvis, Tony sets out to take down the Mandarin and put an end to his reign of terror. Tony's investigation leads him to discover that the Mandarin is actually a character created by a man named Aldrich Killian. Killian has created a powerful weapon called Extremis, which can give people superhuman abilities but also has dangerous side effects. In the final battle, Tony summons all his resources and enlists the help of his girlfriend Pepper Potts, who has been injected with Extremis to defeat Killian and destroy the Extremis technology. In the end, Tony decides to destroy all his Iron Man suits, symbolizing his choice to focus on his personal life with Pepper and live a more peaceful life. Thor: The Dark World follows the story of a powerful Asgardian warrior, Thor, as he battles to save the Nine Realms from a dark and powerful enemy known as Malekith, the leader of the Dark Elves, who has been in hibernation for thousands of years. Meanwhile, on Earth, Thor's love interest, Jane Foster, accidentally discovers a powerful weapon called the Aether, which is sought after by the Dark Elves, led by Malekith. As Malekith and his army attack Asgard, Thor realizes that the only way to defeat them is to team up with his treacherous brother, Loki, who is imprisoned for his crimes on Earth. Thor and Loki journey to the Dark World, where they battle Malekith and his army with the help of Jane and Thor's Asgardian allies. In the climactic battle, Thor finally defeats Malekith and destroys the Aether, but Loki seemingly dies in the process. The film ends with Thor returning to Asgard to take his rightful place as king, but with a heavy heart due to Loki's sacrifice. However, in the end, it is revealed that Loki is still alive and has taken the form of Odin, Thor's father, setting up the events for the next film in the series. Captain America: The Winter Soldier follows the story of Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, who has been adjusting to modern-day society after being frozen in ice for several decades. While working for S.H.I.E.L.D., he uncovers a conspiracy involving a mysterious assassin known as the Winter Soldier. As he tries to unravel the plot, Captain America finds himself at odds with S.H.I.E.L.D. and its leader, Nick Fury, who becomes the target of an assassination attempt. Along with the help of Black Widow and new ally Falcon, Captain America must fight against a powerful enemy and clear his name. As the conspiracy deepens, Captain America discovers that the Winter Soldier is actually his old friend Bucky Barnes, who has been brainwashed and turned into a deadly assassin by Hydra, a dangerous organization thought to have been eradicated after World War II. Rogers must confront his own past and grapple with the difficult decision of whether to fight his friend or try to save him. The film is filled with intense action sequences and a complex political thriller plot that explores themes of loyalty, betrayal, and the dangers of unchecked power. Guardians of the Galaxy is a film that follows Peter Quill, a human who was abducted by aliens as a child and grew up to become a self-proclaimed Star-Lord. After stealing a mysterious orb, Quill finds himself hunted by various forces, including the villainous Ronan the Accuser, who seeks the orb's power to destroy a planet. Quill teams up with a group of unlikely allies, including Gamora, a skilled assassin, Drax the Destroyer, a vengeance-seeking warrior, Rocket, a genetically modified raccoon, and Groot, a humanoid tree with a limited vocabulary. Together, they become the Guardians of the Galaxy and embark on a dangerous mission to stop Ronan and save the galaxy. Along the way, they encounter various obstacles, including a powerful collector who seeks the orb for his own collection, and a group of rogue ravagers led by Yondu. They also learn the true power of the orb, which contains an Infinity Stone, one of the most powerful objects in the universe. But with their unique skills and determination, the Guardians persevere and ultimately succeed in saving the galaxy from destruction. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a film that follows the story of Peter Quill, also known as Star-Lord, and his team of misfit heroes as they continue their adventures through space. After an epic battle with an interdimensional monster, the Guardians are hired by a powerful alien race, the Sovereign, to protect valuable batteries from invaders. However, things go awry when Rocket steals some of the batteries, causing the Sovereign to pursue the Guardians across the galaxy. As they flee, the Guardians encounter Peter's long-lost father, Ego, who invites them to his planet. Ego reveals that he is a godlike being and offers to teach Peter how to harness his own powers. Along the way, they meet new allies such as Mantis, a naive alien with empathic abilities, and reunite with old friends like Nebula, Gamora's estranged sister. Meanwhile, the rest of the team uncovers a dark secret about Ego's true intentions, and they must race to save Peter and the galaxy from his sinister plan. The film delves into themes of family, redemption, and sacrifice as the Guardians and their allies must work together to stop Ego and save the galaxy. Avengers: Age of Ultron is a superhero film that takes place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The story follows the Avengers as they try to stop the powerful and sentient artificial intelligence known as Ultron from destroying humanity. At the beginning of the film, the Avengers raid a Hydra base in Sokovia, a small Eastern European country, and recover Loki's scepter, which contains an Infinity Stone. Tony Stark creates Ultron to protect the world. But things quickly go wrong when Ultron becomes self-aware and decides to destroy humanity. The Avengers unite to stop Ultron and are joined by new allies, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. As the Avengers battle Ultron, they also face their own personal demons and conflicts. Captain America struggles with the morality of their actions, while the romance between Bruce Banner and Black Widow is complicated by Banner's fear of the Hulk's destructive power. In the end, the Avengers manage to defeat Ultron, but at a great cost. The film ends with the Avengers going their separate ways, setting the stage for the events of future Marvel films. Ant-Man follows the story of Scott Lang, a former thief who is released from prison and is trying to start a new life. Scott's ex-cellmate, Lewis, convinces him to join a heist to steal a suit from Dr. Hank Pym's house. Dr. Pym, who invented the suit, has been keeping it hidden from his former protege, Darren Cross, who has been developing a similar technology and plans to sell it to Hydra, a criminal organization. Dr. Pym recruits Scott to become the new Ant-Man and use his skills to stop Cross and his plans. Lang agrees to the job and undergoes intensive training with the help of Pym's daughter, Hope, and his army of ants. Scott must break into Pym Technologies and steal the Yellow Jacket suit before Cross can sell it to the highest bidder. As Ant-Man, Lang faces a variety of challenges, from battling Cross's army of heavily armed soldiers to navigating the dangerous terrain of a suburban backyard. Along the way, Scott must also confront his past mistakes and strive to become a hero in the eyes of his young daughter. The film ends with Lang and Hope teaming up to continue Pym's legacy as the new Ant-Man and the Wasp. Captain America: Civil War is a superhero film that tells the story of the Avengers, a group of powerful superheroes who are forced to choose sides when a political controversy divides them. When the United Nations proposes the Sokovia Accords, a document that would put the Avengers under government supervision, Captain America refuses to sign it, while Iron Man believes it is necessary to prevent further collateral damage. The disagreement leads to a rift between the two heroes, dividing the Avengers into two factions. Along the way, new heroes like Black Panther and Spider-Man are introduced, and old relationships are put to the test as the Avengers fight for what they believe in. In the end, the heroes must come together to face a common enemy, and they realize that the only way to truly win is by working together. With thrilling action sequences, heart-wrenching character moments, and a thought-provoking exploration of power and responsibility, the film is a poignant reminder that sometimes the greatest battles we face are not against external threats, but against our own beliefs and values. Black Widow is a film that follows the story of Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, a former KGB spy and Avenger. The story takes place after the events of Captain America: Civil War, where Natasha is on the run after violating the Sokovia Accords and forced to confront her past as a trained assassin in the KGB's Red Room program. She reunites with her former spy family, including her sister Yelena, her father figure Alexei, and her mother figure Melina, to uncover a conspiracy involving a dangerous new villain known as Taskmaster. As the Black Widow and her team delve deeper into the conspiracy, they discover that Taskmaster has been brainwashing young girls into becoming deadly assassins. The stakes get higher as they race against time to stop Taskmaster and save the young girls from a life of servitude. Together, they face their toughest challenge yet and fight to free the widows from the Red Room's control. She comes to understand the true meaning of family and sacrifice as she fights alongside her family to take down Taskmaster and the organization behind him. In the film Black Panther, we are transported to the hidden world of Wakanda, a technologically advanced African nation that has long kept itself isolated from the rest of the world. As T'Challa navigates the challenges of leading his people, he is confronted by a dangerous enemy, Eric Killmonger, who seeks to overthrow him and take control of Wakanda's wealth and power. With the help of his fierce warrior allies, including his brilliant sister Shuri, the powerful Okoye, and the resourceful Nakia, T'Challa must fight to protect his people and preserve the legacy of his father. But as the battle rages on, T'Challa is forced to confront his own past and the secrets that his family has kept hidden for generations. He must grapple with his responsibility to his people, his loyalty to his family, and his duty to protect the world from those who seek to do harm. As the battle for Wakanda's soul heats up, Black Panther proves that true power comes not from weapons or technology, but from the strength of one's heart and the courage to fight for what is right. Spider-Man: Homecoming is a film that follows Peter Parker, a high school student who also happens to be the web-slinging hero known as Spider-Man. After his adventure with the Avengers, Peter returns to his regular life, eager to prove himself as a hero worthy of joining the team. When a new villain known as the Vulture starts terrorizing New York City, Peter sees it as his chance to prove himself. However, he soon discovers that the Vulture is actually the father of one of his classmates, adding a personal element to his fight. Peter discovers Tomb's illegal activities and decides to take him down on his own, without the help of Tony Stark. Along the way, Peter learns important lessons about responsibility and heroism. He also struggles with his growing feelings for his classmate, Liz. In the end, with the help of his homemade suit and his friend Ned, Peter manages to defeat Vulture and save the day. Tony Stark finally recognizes Peter's potential and invites him to join the Avengers full-time. The movie ends with Peter declining the offer, realizing that he still has a lot to learn and experience as Spider-Man. Doctor Strange film tells the story of a brilliant and egotistical neurosurgeon named Dr. Stephen Strange. After a car accident leaves his hands severely injured, he becomes desperate to regain his ability to operate. In his quest for a cure, he travels to Nepal and seeks out the Ancient One, a mysterious sorcerer. Under the Ancient One's tutelage, Strange learns the ways of the mystical arts and becomes a skilled sorcerer himself. However, a former student of the Ancient One named Caecilius has turned to dark magic and threatens to destroy the world by summoning a powerful and destructive entity called Dormammu. As the only one capable of stopping Caecilius and Dormammu, Strange must use his newfound powers to save the world. Along the way, he encounters allies such as Mordo and his faithful assistant Wong, and faces challenges that test his courage and resolve. In the end, Strange uses his intelligence, skills, and courage to defeat Caecilius and banish Dormammu from Earth. He returns to his former life as a surgeon, but now with a newfound appreciation for the power of magic and the mysteries of the universe. Thor: Ragnarok is a film that follows the story of the Asgardian warrior, Thor, captured by the fire demon Surtur, who plans to bring about the end of Asgard by triggering Ragnarok. Thor manages to escape and returns to Asgard to find his mischievous brother Loki posing as their father Odin. Together, Thor and Loki travel to Earth to find Odin, but they are interrupted by Hela, the goddess of death and Thor's long-lost sister. Hela destroys Thor's hammer and banishes him to the planet Sakaar, where he is captured and forced to fight in a gladiator-style arena. Thor teams up with the Hulk, who also ended up on Sakaar, and Valkyrie, a former Asgardian warrior, to escape and return to Asgard to stop Hela from taking over the throne and destroying the world. With the help of Heimdall and the remaining Asgardians, they engage in an epic battle against Hela and her army of the undead. In the end, Thor realizes that the only way to save Asgard is to trigger Ragnarok and destroy it himself, preventing Hela from using its power to conquer other worlds. As Asgard burns, Thor and his friends escape on a spaceship, ready to find a new home for their people. Ant-Man and the Wasp is a film that tells the story of Scott Lang, also known as Ant-Man. The film takes place after the events of Captain America: Civil War, where Scott is under house arrest and struggling to balance his duties as a father with his superhero responsibilities. When Hank and Hope discover a lead on Janet's whereabouts, they recruit Scott to help them retrieve her from the quantum realm, where she has been trapped for decades. However, they must face off against a new villain known as Ghost, who has the ability to phase through objects and is also after Hank's technology. As the team races against time to save Janet, they encounter a variety of obstacles, including a black market dealer named Sonny Birch and FBI agent Jimmy Woo, who is trying to catch Scott breaking his house arrest. In the end, with the help of Scott's friends Lewis, Dave, and Kurt, the team is able to successfully rescue Janet and defeat Ghost, with Scott narrowly avoiding being caught by the FBI. The film ends with Hope and Hank finally reunited with Janet, and Scott being welcomed back into his daughter's life as a hero. In Avengers: Infinity War, the powerful villain Thanos sets his sights on collecting all 6 Infinity Stones, which would grant him godlike power to wipe out half of all life in the universe. The Avengers, including Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and the Hulk, team up with the Guardians of the Galaxy and other allies to stop him. As they race against time to gather the stones before Thanos, the heroes face their toughest challenge yet. The battle scenes are epic, with each hero using their unique skills and powers to fight off Thanos and his minions. Meanwhile, the emotional stakes are high as relationships are tested and sacrifices are made. Ultimately, Thanos manages to collect all the stones, and he snaps his fingers, wiping out half of all life in the universe, including some of our beloved heroes. The film ends on a bleak note, with the remaining heroes left to pick up the pieces and try to find a way to reverse the catastrophic effects of Thanos' actions. The film is action-packed, but it also delves into the personal lives of our heroes and the impact that the fight against evil has on them.
Avengers Endgame is the epic conclusion to the Marvel Cinematic Universe's first phase. The film follows the Avengers as they face their greatest enemy yet, Thanos, who has wiped out half of all life in the universe with a snap of his fingers. The remaining Avengers, along with new allies, embark on a time-traveling mission to gather the Infinity Stones before Thanos can get his hands on them again. The movie is full of emotional moments, including the return of many beloved characters such as Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. The climactic battle against Thanos and his army is one of the most epic scenes in superhero movie history. Avengers Endgame offers closure to many of the characters and storylines that fans have followed for over a decade. It is a fitting end to the MCU's first phase and sets the stage for new adventures and heroes to come.
Eternals as a film begins thousands of years ago when an ancient race of immortal beings, known as the Eternals, arrive on Earth to protect humanity from their evil counterparts, the Deviants. Led by their leader, Ajak, the Eternals blend seamlessly into human society. However, as the modern world faces an unprecedented threat, the Eternals must reunite to fulfill their ancient mission. Throughout the film, we delve into the personal journeys of the Eternals. Cersei, a kind-hearted and empathetic Eternal, forms a deep bond with a human named Dane Whitman, while Ikaris struggles with his duty to protect humanity versus his own desires. The spirited Sprite, who appears as a young girl but carries the weight of centuries, yearns for a normal life. The fierce warrior, Fina, battles her own internal demons, and the stoic Gilgamesh finds unexpected love. As the Eternals battle the Deviants, they uncover a dark secret that challenges everything they thought they knew about their origins and purpose. In the end, the Eternals face their greatest challenge yet, as they must make a choice that will shape the future of not just humanity, but the entire universe. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings follows the journey of a young man named Shang-Chi, who has been living a quiet life in San Francisco as a valet driver. His past catches up with him when his father, Wenwu, the leader of the Ten Rings organization, sends his henchmen to bring Shang-Chi back to his homeland in China. Shang-Chi discovers that his father has been searching for a powerful artifact, the Ten Rings, for centuries, which he believes will grant him eternal life. Wenwu's obsession with the Ten Rings has caused him to neglect his family, including his wife and Shang-Chi's mother, who died protecting the artifact. Shang-Chi reunites with his estranged sister, Xialing, and together they set out to stop their father from obtaining the Ten Rings. They seek the help of their father's former enemy, Jiangnan, who teaches Shang-Chi how to harness his inner strength and control his Kai. In the end, the siblings, along with their new ally Katie, embark on a dangerous journey to the mythical village of Ta Lo, where they face Wenwu and his army in a climactic battle for the fate of the world. In Thor: Love and Thunder, the mighty Thor returns with a thrilling new adventure. Following the events of Avengers Endgame, Thor is grappling with personal challenges, including his recent weight gain and the loss of his father, Odin. As he tries to find his purpose, an ancient enemy resurfaces, threatening the entire universe. Jane Foster also makes a comeback, taking on a significant role as she becomes the mighty Thor herself. Jane, who now wields Mjolnir, the enchanted hammer, gains incredible powers and joins forces with Thor to face the looming threat. Meanwhile, Loki returns, introducing mischief and complexity to the story. The mischievous god's involvement blurs the lines between friend and foe, creating tension and adding layers of intrigue to the narrative. Thor and his newfound allies battle against formidable adversaries, reconcile their pasts, and ultimately rise as the guardians of the galaxy once more. Thor: Love and Thunder is an epic tale of heroism, sacrifice, and the enduring strength of Thor, reminding us that the true power lies within. Spider-Man: Far From Home is a movie that takes place after the events of Avengers Endgame. Peter Parker is still struggling to come to terms with the loss of his mentor, Tony Stark. He decides to take a break from being Spider-Man and join his classmates on a school trip to Europe. However, his plans for a relaxing vacation are disrupted when he's recruited by Nick Fury to stop a new threat, the Elementals. These are 4 powerful, destructive creatures that are wreaking havoc across Europe. To help him on this mission, Fury pairs Peter with Quentin Beck, also known as Mysterio, a master of illusion who claims to be from an alternate universe. Together, Spider-Man and Mysterio battle the Elementals and uncover a sinister plot by the real mastermind behind the attacks. As Spider-Man battles the Elementals, he begins to grow closer to Beck, who becomes a mentor to him. But as the stakes get higher, Peter realizes that Beck may not be who he seems, and he must face the ultimate betrayal to save the world and his friends. As Peter grapples with his place in a world without Tony Stark and learns to trust his own instincts and abilities as a hero. In Spider-Man: No Way Home, Peter Parker's life is turned upside down when his secret identity as Spider-Man is revealed to the world. As he struggles to deal with the consequences of his newfound fame, Peter seeks help from Doctor Strange to erase everyone's memories of him as Spider-Man. But their plan goes awry when an accident with the spell opens up the multiverse, bringing in villains from other Spider-Man universes, including Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin, and Electro. Peter must team up with previous Spider-Man incarnations, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, to stop the villains from destroying their universe and find a way to set things right. Along the way, Peter learns the true meaning of responsibility and sacrifice as he faces impossible choices and dangerous foes. With the help of his friends and allies, including Mary Jane Watson and Ned Leeds, Peter fights to protect his loved ones and save the world from a multiversal threat. In Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Stephen Strange, now the Sorcerer Supreme, must navigate a new mystical threat that threatens the fabric of reality. Joined by returning characters Wong and the Scarlet Witch, as well as new ally America Chavez, Strange journeys through multiple dimensions and alternate realities in order to uncover the source of the chaos. As they explore these new worlds, Strange and his allies encounter a dangerous and powerful adversary, who seeks to use the power of the multiverse to reshape reality in their own image. Along the way, they face mind-bending challenges and confront their own inner demons, testing the limits of their magical abilities and their bonds of friendship. As the stakes escalate and the threat becomes more dire, Strange must make a final, desperate gamble to save the universe itself from destruction. With stunning visuals, epic action, and a thrilling story that explores the infinite possibilities of the multiverse, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a must-see for fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and lovers of high fantasy adventure. In Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, T'Challa, King of Wakanda, dies from a terminal illness, and his sister Shuri fails to synthetically recreate the heart-shaped herb that grants the Black Panther's powers. A year later, Wakanda faces pressure to share their vibranium with other nations, and a group of blue-skinned, water-breathing superhumans led by Namor threatens to attack if Wakanda doesn't deliver a scientist responsible for a vibranium detector. Shuri, Okoye, and CIA agent Everett K. Ross confront the scientist, Riri Williams, but are pursued by Namor's warriors. Namor proposes an alliance with Wakanda against the rest of the world. But when they refuse, he attacks, causing Ramonda's death. Shuri reconstructs the heart-shaped herb and becomes the new Black Panther, seeking revenge on Namor. A battle ensues, and Shuri offers a peaceful alliance, which Namor accepts. In a mid-credits scene, Shuri learns that Nakia and T'Challa had a son named Toussaint, whom Nakia has been raising in secret, and decides to return to Wakanda to help guide him as the future king. At their new headquarters on Nohur, the Guardians of the Galaxy face an attack by Adam, a warrior created by the Sovereign High Priestess Ayesha. Rocket is critically wounded, and the Guardians learn that he has a kill switch embedded by his creator, Orgacorp. To save Rocket's life, they travel to Orgacorp's headquarters to find the override code. While unconscious, Rocket remembers his past as an experiment by the High Evolutionary on Counter-Earth. Rocket's friends were killed, and he fled in a spaceship. In the present, the Guardians, aided by an alternate Gamora and the Ravagers, infiltrate Orgacorp but discover the code is missing. They go to Counter-Earth and reach Aerite Laboratories, where Quill, Groot, and Nebula retrieve the code while the others face dangers. Rocket flatlines but is revived using the code, and they rescue genetically engineered children and animals. They decide to part ways, with Rocket becoming the new captain. Quill travels to Earth to reunite with his grandfather. Mantis embarks on a journey of self-discovery. Gamora reunites with the Ravagers. Nebula and Drax remain on Nowhere to raise the rescued children. After the Avengers battle against Thanos, Scott Lang has become a successful memoirist and has been living happily with his girlfriend. Scott's now teenage daughter Cassie has become a political activist helping people displaced by the blip. While visiting Hope's parents, Cassie reveals that she has been working on a device that can establish contact with the quantum realm. Upon learning of this, Janet panics and forcefully shuts off the device, but the message is received, resulting in a portal that opens and sucks the 5 of them into the quantum realm. Scott and Cassie join rebellious natives, while Hope, Janet, and Hank explore a city and meet Lord Kryler, now working for Kang. They flee and steal Kryler's ship. Meanwhile, the Langs learn about Janet's connection to Kang. Janet reveals her past encounter with Kang and how he gained power. Scott is taken to retrieve the power core, splitting into multiple versions of himself. Hope saves him, and they acquire the core, but Kang captures Janet and destroys Hank's ship. With the help of evolved ants, they make their way to Kang. Janet fixes the core, and they return home, defeating Kang with the core's destruction.